in remembrance of this young man. In 2011, here we stand almost 15 years later, mourning the death of another 13-year-old school bullying victim, Gabriel Palacios. I'm joined here today by Gabriel's parents, Orsolia and Felipe. His sister, Alisa, is here. We're here with Mercedes Smith. She is the Coronado Middle School PTO president and a suicide prevention advocate, and other friends, supporters, and community members. As you can see from the gathering behind me, this family is a special family in this community. Gabriel was a special child in this community. We're here to announce the filing of a government claim and to demand accountability and justice for the death of Gabriel Palacios, a boy who tragically died on April 12th, 2025 because of excessive student bullying and the indifference and disdain of those educators responsible for protecting him. At the time of his death, Gabriel was a 7th grader at Coronado Middle School. Like many children, he struggled with some special challenges and for that reason was on an IEP. Students at CMS sometimes bully Gabriel because of his conditions. Bullying greatly intensified beginning in February 2025, however, when students began sharing an embarrassing and nude video or images of Gabriel throughout the CMS community. Gabriel's mother, who's behind me, and Gabriel met with Vice Principal Brooke Bartow to notify her of the bullying and provide a specific name of at least one student who was sharing the video and images. In response, and shortly thereafter, Vice President Bartow told them that she had asked the student, "Hey, is this true?" The student denied knowledge, and she believed the student. She took the student at his word. To the best of our knowledge, CMS did not take any further action against stopping the video, investigating the allegations, or stop the bullying from continuing. Moreover, given that Gabriel was only 13 years old, the video and images included child nudity, child pornography under the law. Under those circumstances, the school had an even greater responsibility to investigate further and involve the authorities, neither of which occurred. Unchecked, the bullying continued. Gabriel began isolating in the CMS counselor's office rather than around other students, and he and his parents were forced to begin exploring options to transfer to another school. Later that month, Gabriel's parents encouraged him to attend a school dance. They thought maybe that would get him in a better mood. Gabriel often wears a fanny pack, and he wore it to the dance. The fanny pack contained his phone and a wine key with a bottle opener that Gabriel often used to open the glass Italian sodas that he enjoyed drinking. Upon discovering the bottle opener, CMS Principal Brooke Falar and Vice Principal Bartow expelled Gabriel from the dance and suspended him for 2 days, accusing him of carrying a weapon on campus. This was the third time that Vice Principal Bartow had improperly accused Gabriel of misconduct. She previously accused Gabriel of harassment when he pretended to pull another student's gym shorts down, and she also accused him of vandalism when, dared by another student, he flushed hand soap on a toilet, creating soap bubbles. Apparently this constitutes vandalism in this school district. Her continued and unfounded persecution of Gabriel demonstrated a troubling misunderstanding of the disciplinary modifications required under Gabriel's IEP and his neurodivergent disorder. Gabriel's parents met with Falar and Bartow, asked them to remove the weapons allegation from Gabriel's disciplinary file so that he could transfer to the new school without complication. Falar responded, "The report stays." As a result, Gabriel's disciplinary record contained the entries "weapons" and "harassment" without further explanation. Later, on a day when Gabriel was touring the new school that he hoped to go to, he began crying in the car, expressing extreme anxiety about CMS ruining his chances of attending and stating that Bartow was out to get him. He shared his extreme sadness that kids at the school continued to bully him and that nobody at the school believed or supported him. He was looking forward to a new start at the new school, but shared he was very anxious about CMS somehow finding a way to stop it. At that point, he had lost all trust in his CMS caregivers. On Thursday, April 2nd, Gabriel attended school. His required IEP aide was not present, and Gabriel went to the nurse several times complaining that he was sick. That night, tragically, Gabriel hanged himself from his own bunk bed using his karate belt. He was later pronounced dead at UCSD Hillcrest Medical Center. Like Seth Welsh, he was 13 years old at the time of his death. Seth's law didn't protect Gabriel because CMS broke the law. Worse, not only did CMS leaders break the law by failing to protect the report of bullying, they broke Gabriel's spirit by ignoring him, unjustly disciplining him, and taking away his hope and happiness. We have filed a government claim on behalf of the Palacios family, and soon will be filing a major lawsuit against this school district and all those responsible for this horrifying and preventable tragedy. We look forward to obtaining full justice for Gabriel and to continue the fight against bullying in his name. I'm going to repeat that. Are there Spanish language here? Okay.
We're gonna give the first question in Univision at the end, so you'll answer in Spanish.
Okay. Mi nombre es John Gómez. Soy abogado litigante para familias y niños de San Diego. En 2010, Seth Wells, de 13 años, trágicamente se quitó la vida después de ser acosado y hostigado en la escuela debido a su orientación sexual y expresión de género. A pesar de que California aprobó la ley de Seth en 2011, aquí estamos casi 5 años después, lamentando la muerte de otra víctima de acoso escolar de 13 años, Gabriel Palacios. Me acompañan hoy los padres de Gabriel Orsolia y Felipe Palacio, su hermana Alisa Palacios, Mercedes Smith, presidente de APF de la Escuela Secundaria Coronado, y otros amigos simpatizantes y miembros de la comunidad. Estamos aquí para anunciar la presentación de una demanda gubernamental y para exigir responsabilidad y justicia por la muerte de Gabriel Palacios, un niño que trágicamente murió el 12 de abril de este año debido al acoso estudiantil excesivo y la indiferencia y desdén de aquellos educadores responsables de protegerlo. Al momento de su muerte, Gabriel era estudiante de 7º grado en la escuela secundaria Coronado. Como muchos niños, Gabriel luchaba con algunos desafíos especiales y por esas razones tenía un PEI. Sus compañeros de clase a veces acosaban a Gabriel debido a sus condiciones. Sin embargo, el acoso se intensificó mucho comenzando en febrero de este año, cuando los estudiantes comenzaron a compartir un video o imágenes embarazosas y desnudas de Gabriel por toda la comunidad escolar. La mamá de Gabriel y Gabriel se reunieron con la subdirectora Brooke Bartow para notificarle sobre el acoso y proporcionaron al menos un nombre de un estudiante que estaba compartiendo al menos los videos y imágenes. Poco después, Bartow les dijo que había preguntado al estudiante que el estudiante había negado conocimiento del video y que ella le creía al estudiante. Según que nosotros sepamos en este momento, los funcionarios escolares no tomaron ninguna acción adicional para detener que el video o imágenes se siguieron difundiendo dentro de la escuela. Además, dado que el video y imágenes incluían desnudez infantil, la escuela tenía una responsabilidad aún mayor de investigar más a fondo y involucrar a las autoridades, ninguna de las cuales ocurrió. Sin control, el acoso continuó. Gabriel comenzó a aislarse en la oficina de consejero en lugar de estar cerca de otros estudiantes, y él y su padre comenzaron a explorar opciones de transferencia a una nueva escuela. Más tarde ese mes, los padres de Gabriel lo animaron a asistir a un baile escolar para alegrar su ánimo. Gabriel frecuentemente usa una riñonera y la usó para el baile. La riñonera contenía su teléfono y un sacachorros con destapador de botellas que Gabriel frecuentemente usaba para abrir las sodas italianas de vidrio que a él le gustaba tomar. Al descubrir el destapador de botellas, la directora Brooke Fowler y la subdirectora Barto expulsaron a Gabriel del baile y los suspendieron 2 días acusándolo de portar un arma en el campus. Esta fue la tercera vez que la subdirectora Barto había acusado impropiamente a Gabriel de mala conducta. Antes había acusado a Gabriel de acoso cuando él fingió bajar los shorts de gimnasio de otro estudiante, y también lo acusó de vandalismo cuando, desafiado por otro estudiante, echó jabón de manos en un inodoro creando burbujas de jabón. Su persecución continua y infundada de Gabriel demostró una comprensión problemática de las modificaciones disciplinarias requeridas bajo el PII de Gabriel y su trastorno neurodivergente. Los padres de Gabriel se reunieron con Fowler y Barto para pedirles que removieran la acusación de armas del expediente de Gabriel para que pudiera transferirse a la nueva escuela sin complicaciones. Fowler respondió: el reporte se queda. Como resultado, el expediente disciplinario de Gabriel contenía las entradas armas y acoso, sin mayor explicación. Más tarde, en un día cuando Gabriel estaba visitando la nueva escuela a la que esperaba asistir, comenzó a llorar en el carro, expresando extrema ansiedad sobre Fowler y Barto, arruinando su oportunidad de asistir y declarando que Barto la traía contra él. Compartió su extrema tristeza de que sus compañeros seguían acosándolo y que ningún funcionario le creyera o lo apoyara. Estaba esperando con ansias un nuevo comienzo en la nueva escuela, pero compartió que estaba muy ansioso sobre Fowler y Barto, de alguna manera encontrando la forma de impedirlo. Había perdido toda la confianza en sus cuidadores de la escuela. El jueves 10 de abril, Gabriel asistió a la escuela. Su asistente de PII requerido no estaba presente y Gabriel fue a la enfermera varias veces quejándose de que se sentía enfermo. Esa noche, Gabriel se colgó de su litera usando su cinturón de karate. Más tarde fue declarado muerto en el Centro Médico Universidad de California de San Diego, Hillcrest. Como igual de Seth Welsh, tenía 13 años al momento de su muerte. La ley de Seth no protegió a Gabriel porque su escuela y sus funcionarios violaron la ley. Peor aún, no solo los líderes de su escuela violaron la ley a fallar en proteger a Gabriel de acoso, rompieron el espíritu de Gabriel al ignorarlo, disciplinarlo injustamente y quitarle su esperanza y felicidad. Hemos presentado una demanda gubernamental en nombre de la familia Palacios y pronto estaremos presentando una demanda civil contra el distrito Escolar Unificado de Coronado y todos aquellos responsables de esta tragedia. Esperamos obtener justicia completa para Gabriel y continuar la lucha a luchar el acoso en su nombre. That's it for me, and now I want to introduce Mercedes Smith, the president of the Coronado Middle School PTO and a suicide prevention advocate. Mercedes?
Good morning. I want to thank the family for having me here and for allowing me to continue to support them. My name is Mercedes Smith. I'm the CMS PTO president currently and work in the field of suicide prevention. So this case is both deeply personal and something I've taken on professionally. In my opinion, the uncomfortable truth we must take responsibility for is that we failed Gabriel and we failed his family. I say this acknowledging what even myself or my child could have done differently. So now we have a duty to take accountability, revise policy, educate our children that being silent or being a bystander can be life or death when it comes to the bullying of vulnerable kids like Gabe, who happened to be their peers. His passing occurred late into his second year at his school, by which point he'd been aggressively bullied for 2 months, causing changes to his usual behavior, what he wore, and more. Indicators of a mental health decline and even a crisis. Those of us dedicated to supporting his family will continue seeking justice, truth, and advocating for the best possible suicide prevention solutions to honor Gabe and prevent this horrible tragedy from occurring ever again. No family and no child deserves this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll next hear from Gabriel's mother, Orsolia.
Thank you. My name is Rashoya, and I had the honor and privilege of being Gabriel's mom. My son Gabriel was a beautiful, smart, fun, and above all, kind and loving. He deserved a plentiful life full of love and adventure, surrounded by people who loved him, cared for him, and supported him in life. Gabriel was born neurodivergent, which made him different and perfectly imperfect. He was very aware of his disabilities and ran with them like a champ with an infectious megawatt smile on his face, always. Gabriel never asked for any special attention nor special considerations for his disability. However, he was young and vulnerable and deserved better from his school, its leadership, and his IEP program. Kids with neurodivergent disabilities are overbullied, and my son was no exception. While attending Coronado Middle School, the bullying became so aggressive that 5 months ago, on April 10th, he decided to take his own life. Gabriel was 13. About 2 months prior to his death, my son accidentally posted a private video and some images on Snapchat that fell into the wrong hands, and its circulation quickly exploded throughout the halls of the school. CMS leadership was made aware immediately, but they swept it under the rug and they left my son exposed and extremely vulnerable. For 2 months, my son was relentlessly bullied, tormented, and outcasted under the noses of his school caregivers. It took a lot to bring my son down. I watched my son's spirit extinguish, his confidence shatter, and his dignity get stolen. I saw his voice and mine dismissed and deemed irrelevant by the middle school authorities. Finally, I watched my son die. Gabriel did not deserve this. No one deserves this, and it needs to be stopped. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for coming. I'm Felipe Palacios. I'm Gabriel's dad. I wanna read the same statement in Spanish for my fellow Hispanic community members here. Mi hijo Gabriel era todo. Era precioso, era inteligente, era divertido y sobre todo era amable y cariñoso. Gabriel merecía una vida plena, llena de amor, aventuras y de personas que lo amaran, rodeado de cuidado y de apoyo. Gabriel nació neurodivergente, no fue su culpa. Lo que lo hacía diferente y perfectamente imperfecto. Era muy consciente de sus discapacidades y las afrontaba como un campeón, con una sonrisa contagiosa y radiante. Gabriel nunca pidió atención ni consideraciones especiales por su discapacidad. Sin embargo, era vulnerable, era un niño de 13 años y merecía más de su escuela, de sus líderes y de su plan de educación individual o IEP. Niños con discapacidades neurodivergentes sufren acoso escolar excesivo y mi hijo no fue la excepción. Mientras asistía a la escuela secundaria aquí en Coronado, el acoso se volvió tan agresivo que hace 5 meses, el 10 de abril, decidió quitarse la vida. Gabriel tenía 13 años. Unos 2 meses antes de su muerte, mi hijo accidentalmente publicó un video privado en Snapchat. Trató de erase it, pero cayó en las manos equivocadas y la distribución se extendió rápidamente en los pasillos de la escuela. Los directivos de CMS se enteraron de inmediato, pero lo ocultaron y dejaron a mi hijo expuesto y extremadamente vulnerable. Durante 2 meses, mi hijo tuvo que sostener este acoso y sufrió muchísimo, constantemente atormentado, marginado, sin descanso, todo debajo de las narices de sus cuidadores aquí en Coronado Middle School. Gabriel era muy fuerte y no se derribaba fácilmente, pero en esos meses vimos cómo su espíritu se apagaba, su confianza se desmoronó y su dignidad se la robaron. Su voz, la mía, la de mi esposa, fueron ignoradas y consideradas irrelevantes por las autoridades de Coronado Middle School. Finalmente, el 12 de abril de este año, Gabriel murió en nuestros brazos. Era nuestro único hijo. Gabriel no merecía esto. Nadie merece esto. Y debemos pararlo inmediatamente. Gracias.
Thank you, Felipe. We have copies of the government claim if you would like them, and we would now invite questions if there are any.
Gracias por la pregunta. No hemos tenido ningún acercamiento con la escuela. Hemos dirigido todas nuestras actividades con la comunidad y con los abogados.
Next question, I'm going to get Univision. Oh, okay. Next question, I'll get a Fox 5 San Diego. Anything? No. CBS 8.
Where do you go from this tragic loss? I mean, what are you asking for besides money?
So the next step after they deny the claim, we'll file a lawsuit in civil court. You know, obviously no amount of money can make up for the loss of a kid as special as this one, only son to a family. And so, you know, sure, there's going to be an economic part of it because, you know, his life is worth something. But I think more importantly, you heard from them, they want to make sure that this school district changes its ways. They want to make sure that other kids are protected from bullying. They want to make sure that Gabriel's legacy is that kids are safer in school, better protected from bullying, and better cared for by their caregivers.
Oh, how long could this go on? How long could this be going on in total? Years or?
I think Gabriel was subject to, you know, bullying and treatment differently because of his conditions, you know, but the bullying really started when the video was leaked and shared among all of his classmates. And so the period of time from when that happened until his death was about 3 months.
Sorry, I mean in the future from today. You know, are we looking at years from now? You know, is this going to go on years?
How will the case go?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as we get a denial from the district, we'll file a lawsuit Typically in San Diego, lawsuits take about a year and a half to 2 years to get to trial. And so we'll be looking forward to trying this case on behalf of Gabriel and Seth and every victim of bullying in this country in a year and a half to 2 years.
Union Tribune?
Are there specific policy changes or kind of rule changes for administrators or school employees that you're kind of hoping to come of this?
Thanks for that question. You know, I think the rules are there, the policies are there. I haven't seen their rules and policies, but I presume that they're somewhat adequate. Clearly, in this case, the people in charge of applying the rules did not act appropriately. You don't just, you have a parent and a kid come to you and say, this is what happened. You know, these images are being shared. That's a very, 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 very serious thing. And we've seen it across the country. We've seen it with other kids. And so you don't just say, hey, kid, you know, is this true? And the kid says, oh, no, it's not. And you're done with it. Like that is not appropriate. And so we are going to be looking for, I think, yes, revised, strengthened policies about stepping in, making sure this doesn't happen. We'd like to see kids, obviously, the kids need to be educated about this. You know, we have kids, you'll go to a high school, MAD will come in and they'll show pictures of a crashed car and all these bad things, don't drink and drive. You know, these kids need to understand the real life consequences of bullying and ostracization and cruel treatment of others. And so, you know, at the end of the day, yes, we're going to be looking for a whole bunch of changes, you know, probably with personnel too, but certainly with policies.
Any further questions? That concludes.
All right, thank you, everyone. That concludes today's press conference. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Ajá. Está bien, sí.
I'll be here. I mean, however long this goes on, I'll be here. Even if, like I told you, I don't care.
I'll give you a breather, but next week.
No.